Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and welcome to another patch notes section on Limbus Company. The patch is going to be releasing this Wednesday. There's a lot of good changes. They're finally fixing Paralyze. So let's go ahead and dig in. So for those of you that have read the update notes already and you're kind of wondering, okay, there's maintenance between 10 a.m. and 12 a.m. March 16th Korean time. What time is that? Well, the 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. is most likely a mistake. Their translation team is not the best, but I am very grateful. I don't want to complain because they are releasing patch notes in like 4 different languages. So I can understand a couple of typos here and there. But 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. on March 16th is going to be about 4 hours after reset for the weekly reset. So for those of you who are wondering what time that is, that's going to be Wednesday, a couple hours after reset. Now, they did put this note up here, and again, with the translation issues, this note can be kind of considered different ways. Basically, they say that the Mirror Dungeon bonuses after and daily free entries will take place after 12 once the update has finished. So it words itself, it sounds like we're not going to get the Mirror Dungeon resets until after the maintenance, so you may have a couple extra hours to do your weeklies. But there's another way to read this where you could be getting extra Mirror Dungeon entries. It's just not that clear. So I think it's going to happen after the maintenance, but you may want to just double check Wednesday after 12 just to double check in case you can get extra rewards. Now, there were a bunch of buffs and a bunch of new content coming out, so let's talk about that. We have Experience Luxcavation and Thread Luxcavation, and we also have a new Rhodian banner. I don't believe it's a new Rhodian. I believe it's just a Rhodian banner. Experience Luxcavation and Thread Luxcavation are basically going to be another way to use Encephalon, or Enkephalin. Sorry, Enkephalin. You're gonna need to clear 2-12 for the experience, and you're gonna need to clear 2-19 for the thread. You're gonna be able to do it 3 times a day. You're gonna be grinding the heck out of these. I think undoubtedly you're gonna be grinding the thread because you're gonna want to be able to upgrade your units, because right now the only way to get thread is through pulls or through potentially doing Mirror Dungeon 5 times a week. So talking about Mirror Dungeon, let's talk about the buffs to Mirror Dungeon. So there is one nerf where they're going to be removing the Identity EXP, which will be moved to Experience Luxcavation, which is completely fine. The one thing I hope with this Identity EXP, I hope Experience Luxcavation actually gives us unit experience and not just Identity EXP. It would be a bit of a bummer if it was just Identity EXP, because I believe this 12,000 Identity EXP they're talking about right here, it's either the tickets that they're talking about, or I think it is the tickets actually. So hopefully we'll be able to get more from the experience. Sorry, for some reason I was thinking the Identity EXP was the account EXP that you get to upgrade your account. But we got a whole bunch of buffs here. We're getting lunacy, so we're going to be getting 250 lunacy per Mirror Dungeon, up to 750 per week. The pass EXP is going to go from 7 to 20, which is great. The Ego Shard crates are going to go up to 8 and 5. This is a buff, almost. So technically it's a nerf to the random Ego Shard crate by 1 shard, technically, but I'm gonna give it to them. I don't really care because they're buffing everything else so significantly. They're giving you lunacy. It doesn't even matter. Like, the lunacy is going to quickly surpass what that 1 random Ego Shard crate would have done. So really excited for the Mirror Dungeon changes. And in addition to all of this, the daily and the weekly changes, missions are getting changed. The pass EXP is getting increased on the dailies and the weeklies, which is great. And I really am happy about the daily mission changes, because the daily missions were a little bit annoying, where you had to do 1 abnormality. You had to like have a randomly selected sinner, so that was kind of annoying. But now it's literally you log into the game, you clear EXP and Thread Luxcavation, clear any stage 2 times, and defeat 10 enemies. So now not only do I have to not have to clear 3 stages, well, you do, because you have to do EXP and Thread Luxcavation, but it's just easier. it seems easier to me than what I had to do, where I had to like double check my dailies, double check the unit that I had, and all of that. Weekly missions are going to be clear EXP excavation 5 times, thread excavation 5 times, clear any stage 10 times, defeat 100 enemies, and enter the mirror dungeon 1 time. So very nice here. No punishing you for not being able to log in 5 times for the daily login, which is really nice. So just overall, they're making the game easier, more accessible, and it's nothing but good things happening here. Let's start talking about some of the technical changes here, because we do have a lot of technical changes like Paralyze fix and combat fixes. So damage boost per clash is adjusted to 3%, which is great. I can't remember what percent it was before, but I'll take it. Any damage increase is good. Staggered allies no longer gain action slots before others, which is good. A lot of the plan changes that were supposed to come out this week for combat have been delayed. I'm okay with that since they're still fixing things. Like, the list of things they fixed is crazy, and they're still implementing a lot of the other main content. So if you're a developer watching this, if you're someone from Project Moon watching this, like, it's okay. You know, as long as you keep, you know, showing us all the work you're doing. I mean, you guys are incredible. You are doing so much to this game. Like, I don't think I've seen a game release this much content every single week for like multiple weeks ever. So very exciting here. And the combat changes will be next week on March 23rd. The UI changes, not very important. Seasonal display to identities and egos. System changes, cache data is automatically deleted, running a client from an unsupported version errors, you know, things like that. And then finally we get to bug fixes. Now, there are a lot of bug fixes here. There was another screen where they just talked about translation issues on the Japanese side and the English side. So we are going to get 3 extraction tickets for that. So just keep that in mind. But bug fixes, fixed an issue with the displayed amount of enkephalin recovered when using enkephalin boxes. Okay. On the PC version, status effect keywords now display upon hovering the mouse cursor over them. I love that. There's so many status effects. There's so many things in this game that can be like a little bit confusing. Having that detail is really nice. There's some things here which are not the most important, like the refresh button on the mailbox can be pressed every 10 seconds. Idle voice lines can only be played up to 3 times. Graphical issues, maintenance warnings. Resistances are now shown in the character info tab. I like that. Fixed an issue where the info on certain abnormality skills, passives, and part resistances were not being unlocked in the encyclopedia. And fix the icon display for uncleared abnormality encounters in story dungeons. So again, I do actually like using the encyclopedia feature. So seeing them fix that and adjust that is really nice. Valid routes from the current position now displayed in story dungeons. Fixed an issue where certain abnormality encounters in the mirror dungeon played a tutorial. And then abnormality encounters in the mirror dungeon played effects from the main story, which are not good. Certain descriptions of ego gifts were changed and tooltips for ego gifts. Fixed an issue with the activation condition for certain ego gifts, so it sounds like some of them weren't activating. And then, of course, fixed an issue where the game would crash because the map didn't generate. Now, amazingly, in the middle of all of these bug fixes is what I think are the 2 biggest updates, or even 3 here, okay? So fixed an issue with the status effect Paralyze did not work properly. Huge update. Fixed an issue where area of effect skills did not show target arrows for sub-targets when selecting skills. So you would just have to know that that skill was going to be area of effect. You know, I think about like Foss Ego, which is area of effect, and all of these other skills. It's going to be really nice, especially if you're playing manually, to be able to choose that. Coin power in battle is now displayed as the value with modifiers from status effects, passives, and other sources applied. So many good things here. Like, this is just so much better. Fixed an issue where coin power would go below 0 during battle. Okay. And then character dialogue, abnormality, passive abilities no longer activate after the related part has been broken. So thank you. Fixed an issue where the game would stop mid-battle, okay? Fixed an issue where removed parts were being targeted during abnormality battle. So again, nothing but good things going on here, nothing but a great update. And you know, Project Moon is continuing to hit it out of the park. I'm sure we're going to get a 300 lunacy compensation for maintenance in addition to those 3 extra pulls. Looking forward to getting to do an extra 10 pull. You guys, I am trying to be a Limbus Company content creator. This is one of the games I want to cover, so please share this video with other people. Let people know that I am here, that I am making content for this game, and I will catch you guys later.